Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
You are listening to the Brilliance Business Show, conversations with leading experts in business. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. We have a wonderful guest today, a long-term friend who I've known for many, many years, the wonderful Melanie Perry. Melanie is an award-winning film producer and radio broadcaster. Melanie, welcome to the Brilliance Business Show.
Thank you, Mark. It's a delight to be here.
Before I get started, Melanie, I just need to make a legal disclaimer that Melanie is not offering legal advice or legal assistance. So let's get started with the show. Melanie, can you share with our listeners a little bit about yourself and your business?
Yes, of course. I'd be delighted. My name is Melanie, as you all know and have heard, and I run Poppy Perry Media is my business, which is a video production agency. And I, in a nutshell, help companies and businesses to get more gigs, gain more clients, and sell more stuff through the power of explosive video marketing. That's my gig. I love very, very strong creative video. And we all know that is really, really important in business these days. I come from an entertainment background. When I worked in corporate, I worked for Virgin and the Walt Disney Company for many years. I'm a very, very visual person and understand the importance of brand and how the two go together, which is something that some people don't get sometimes.
Video is so important, and we have saw the power of online, the power of social media through this pandemic, and everyone knows the power of doing video. It's so important we incorporate it into our businesses, because a great video is sure to help build our businesses, convert more leads and make more brand awareness. Tell us a little bit, Melanie, about the kind of video that you produce.
Well, we cater for all businesses, from small to much larger. The small businesses, we tend to help with strategizing their visual marketing plan, because like anything, you have to have a strategy of how you're going to incorporate your video marketing into your overall marketing plan. That's something that small businesses, again, tend to need quite a lot of help with. We also create small bite-sized pieces for social media that businesses can roll out, and we have packages to do that. We also do much larger scale productions for companies that do have a bigger budget, where we will bring in the experts, the crew, the sound technicians, the cameramen, and make a really great production piece. Obviously, that takes a bit longer, and that, there is quite a bit of cost that comes to that. So we do cater for a raft of different people. People often ask me whether I have a particular business that I love working with, and the answer to that really is no. I don't have a niche market, because I'm a storyteller and everybody has a different story to tell, and I really, really love hearing people's stories and making them come alive. So it doesn't really matter who my clients are. Taking them from a place of being meh to a place of being, oh my God, that's amazing, that's really impactful, is what I live for.
And I suppose with video, especially for the smaller businesses and the larger ones, Melanie, you can really build their credibility and authority, because the way you can position people in a video, it can really bring a brand to life, can't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And the greatest thing about video is that you can cram a heck of a lot of information into a video really, really quickly. It's a great way of getting your message across and quickly, and building that know, like, and trust. If people feel that they can relate to you or relate to your brand, they're much more likely to buy from you. And video really, really helps that, because all of us are quite visual beings. Now, I know there are some people out there who think, well, I like reading and listening to the radio. That's great. But when you have video, it's all encompassing, that everything about video I love, from the words to the actors, if you're using them, to the music that you put behind. Everything is completely thought out, the fonts that you use, and all of that together weaves a wonderful story about who you and who your brand is, and why people should maybe choose you over the competition.
I do agree. I think visual is definitely universal. Everyone loves visual. That's why films are so great to go and watch, commercials on the television. And it must be so rewarding for you when you are helping smaller businesses to grow and scale through your video, and then putting on these big productions as well. That must feel so satisfying, Melanie.
It does. I mean, when you're going through the process, there are times where you kind of think, I never want to see this part of this production again, because you're so intense and you're living and you're breathing it. But when it's done and you see the end result and the client loves it, there's no feeling that can compare to that, in my view. And sitting back thinking, yeah, we helped make that, it's just the most amazing feeling. And for small businesses as well, some of the small businesses that I've helped, they start from a place where they really can't see how video can help them, or they can't really see a route to what they really, really want to do. And then when we get to the end of the journey and they've got a piece or pieces that are really getting them noticed, and they're like, wow, I didn't know my business could look like this, and that's the thing. It's getting people to think outside the box a little bit, especially smaller businesses, to and getting them to reach for the stars a little bit. I like to think of myself as a bit of a dream maker.
Yes, and also the ripples of impact that visual then can go on to have, because you're first shining a light on the business, the client, whatever film production you're doing, but then you have those ripple of impacts with the audience that go on to watch all of these incredible visuals that you have made. Tell us a little bit about the ha-ha moment, Melanie, that led to the launch of your business.
It's a funny story, because I got into this almost by accident. I was helping a friend who was launching her new business, and I did a series of short videos for her. She had a sugaring business, which is like waxing hair removal, but with organic sugar paste, which is much better for the skin. So if you do need your hair removed, go and look up sugar pasting. It's much better for you. And I thought, what? How can we make this a bit more exciting, rather than just putting up, doing the normal website and putting pictures up on Facebook? So we created her a video series, a 4-part video series that told the whole journey. The first part was all to do with her salon. Then we did a piece on the sugar. Then we did a piece on the treatment. And then we did a client testimonial at the end. So it kind of took the viewer on a journey. And the results from that just went absolutely off the chart. And it was something that I didn't really think about. And when it went live, I was inundated with people wanting the same for their business. And that's how it started about four years ago now. And it's just grown and grown and grown from there. And it's delightful that people just love what I'm doing, really. And as I've grown, obviously, my ambitions have grown, and I've been able to scale and take on bigger projects and get better crew behind me. But I still do like working on those little projects sometimes, because taking a business owner from a place where they don't see what they can do to then seeing, oh my gosh, this is exactly it. is just phenomenal. And when they get the results as well, that people are engaging on their posts, they are sharing their social media, and that's what you want. You yes, you need people to sit up and take notice, but you also want the reaction, you want the engagement, you want the conversion, because unless you have those things, it's just noise.
Yes, and you mentioned the great words, know, like, and trust. And as you have explained in detail what you do and how it supports your clients, it really makes you see that it's a really quick way for people to feel like they know you and get to know you, because when it's visual, it's really quick that you can build that trustability. Melanie, what really motivates you to jump out of bed every day?
I would say the creative process. There's a song from The Greatest Showman, and the line in it says, I've got a million colours in my head. And that's me. I think in images all the time, and I'm putting everything, I see everything in kind of frames when I'm going about my day. And I love the creative process. I love getting my teeth into a new project and taking it, especially from a place where someone hasn't really got a clue to when the end result. I just love the whole process. So I'm a creator, in every sense of the word.
And we all think with images as well. And it's a known fact that visualization, imagery, is one of the quickest ways for us to manifest our futures. So imagery is so important, visual, and it's the quickest way for the brain to learn as well, because images go straight to the creative part of the mind. So it's really important work that you're doing, Melanie. What sets your business apart, and what unique need are you filling for your clients?
Well, when people work with me, they will get one person to deal with throughout the whole process, which is a real bonus in the creative industry. So we will take you from the very, very start, the strategy and the planning process, and it will be one person dealing with you throughout the whole process right up until the end. So you're not waiting on other people to give you this part or that part or the other part. It's kind of a seamless process, and we really pride ourselves on taking care of our customers and really listening to them. One of the biggest bits of feedback I always get is, oh my God, you really get it. And that for me is great, because it proves that we listen and we understand what our clients want, and sometimes with a little gentle guidance help them understand what it is they want as well.
Yes, and I think it's a really unique selling point that they're dealing with you through the process, because I can imagine some other companies, you would be dealing with lots of different people and it wouldn't feel as seamless. So that is definitely a unique selling point there. Why is your service especially important in today's modern world?
I mean, I think we've covered today. You need to be seen, you need to be heard, you need to be, most of all, remembered. We have seen so much on social media. You've got to be pretty special to stand out from the crowd these days. And when the pandemic hit, everybody had to go on to Zoom, didn't they? Everybody who, even companies that thought, oh God, people that thought, I can't get in front of the camera, I hate it, suddenly found that they absolutely had to get comfortable with being on camera and talking in an on-camera environment. So the way that the world has changed, the way that we do things have changed. I mean, you can't see your GP these days without doing it over a Zoom meeting.
Yes.
A lot of physiotherapists and industries that you would never thought of in a million years. So facial massage therapists, they're all offering things on Zoom now. Skincare experts are giving talks over Zoom. So the whole process of being camera ready and presentable ready, because there are people that go in front of camera that, in my opinion, really shouldn't. And I know that sounds awful. I mean, they should, but they should have some training first, because it's very important to get your message across in the right way. And when we're small business owners, especially, you can get so wrapped up in the you of the business, you're not thinking about it from the perspective of your customer. And with video, it's all about what your customer will see. When we go to the movies, it's all about how we feel about the movie at the end of the day. So it's what do your customers want to see? What are they going to interact with? It's less about you, it's more about them. So it's just training people to do that in the best way, because the world has changed. The world has changed. I don't think they'll be ever really going back to a space where video won't feature in the day-to-day life of business.
I agree totally. Everything has moved. We're in a totally different world to before the pandemic. I already knew the power of social media and online media coverage because of the industry that I am in with media and PR, Melanie. But even hairdressers and people that weren't used to being online quickly had to pivot, and it's definitely not going anywhere. Online video, it's here to stay. So people do need to definitely take advantage of the power of video. Can you share a few more detail on the kind of services and products you offer?
Yep. So we do anything from small sort of bite-sized social media animations. We do live filming for people that want to have a really good web shot or to film a webinar or course. We do much bigger budget production live action pieces, which are for commercial television, which obviously are for higher budgets. We put testimonial reels together for speakers or authors, speaker reels, podcast editing, anything really that is around visual and sound, we can probably help you with.
Now, I know you have all sorts of client success stories. I want you to just pick one that really stands out to you.
The one that makes me giggle, and I suppose it shouldn't really, but it does. It was a lady that she was a small business owner, and she spent some time with me because she again felt a little bit lost in the sea of social media and knew she had to be present, but wasn't really sure about things. And she had a strategy session with me, and I gave her quite a specific list of things, action list of things that she should do. Anyway, power to her. And I'm picking her because it's really, really nice when clients go away and do what you tell them to do.
Yes.
It doesn't happen all the time. But she did. She went away and she put into action the things that we had gone through. And she got a new client from LinkedIn there and then. And I said to her, that's got to be a record for somebody to literally go away the next day, do it and get a new client straight away. I was like, yes.
And then that gives them the confidence to keep on repeating that process. And that's Absolutely. What will help them to get the confidence to grow and scale and keep on growing. Now, I do love a success story, and that was a great one, Melanie. Now, did I mention that Melanie is an award-winning film producer of the film Scooch? COVID-19, the world has changed for some. Opportunity is knocking. Tell us all about this, Melanie.
Yeah, Scooch. That was a bit of a silly one. This was a film that we made in COVID, right at the end of COVID. So towards the first part of the COVID and the first lockdown, as you know, everybody was brought to a standstill. The whole world kind of came to a grinding halt. But towards the end, some industries were allowed to continue working, and thankfully the film and production industry was one of them. So I got a little group of people together. I used to work in radio as well. So I got a little group of people together, and I thought, who wants to make a film? Because I really want to get out of the house. I mean, I pivoted my business to do a lot more animations over lockdown when we couldn't go anywhere. So the live filming died off a little bit. But I was desperate to get out of the house and get back doing what I love. Anyway, we put together a band of brothers and made a local film with some local people and showcased local businesses. And the only thing that I specify is it's got to be a comedy. It's got to be a comedy because we need a laugh after everything that's happened. We need to have a laugh. So I got together a group of local writers who happened to be friends of mine, and we created this little short film. It's not a feature film, it's a short film called Scooch. And it's about two rather hapless men who haven't got any money because it's COVID. They've lost their jobs. They need to get their hands on some money quickly. They don't know really how to go about it. Or one of them's got a very good idea of how to go about it. And they decide that they're going to rob a bank because, you have to wear a mask to even go in a bank nowadays.
No balaclava needed.
Yeah, exactly. So, what could possibly, it's an open goal. What could possibly go wrong? And the plot kind of focuses more on their choice of getaway vehicle and what could possibly go wrong with their choice of getaway vehicle, for which they use one of the new electronic e-scooters from the town's new e-scooter scheme. And so it goes on a little bit of a kind of like a Groundhog Day type of thing where you go through a couple of scenarios of what could possibly happen in choosing an e-scooter as your getaway vehicle. And there's a little bit of a twist at the end, which I won't give away if people want to see the film, but it was a joy to make. And I think the energy of everybody involved, the cast and crew got on so well. I think everyone was just so delighted to be out that really came across. And it's a real piece of kind of good old fashioned British comedy nonsense.
Well, it sounds exactly what we all needed through this pandemic. It's been a slog. We're not out of it yet. And I know we're opened up a lot more than we was, which I'm so grateful for. But it's still definitely not the final destination. It's still not the end. And to me, this film just sounds so funny and uplifting and what we all need through these testing times. How can we get a hold of it, Melanie? Is it available to watch at the moment?
It's not available to watch yet. We are holding, as I say, it was a local film to me. I live in Maidenhead in Berkshire, and most of my friends live in the High Wycombe area. So it was made with local people to High Wycombe and in High Wycombe. So it's going to be premiered on the 26th of November at the Wycombe Arts Centre, 7 to 9 p.m. And all money from the ticket sales are going to go towards the charity Wycombe Arts Centre, who support local artists and local arts projects. So it's been a real nice community piece all round, really. Once we've premiered, there will be a chance to view online, which I haven't quite sorted out the nuts and bolts yet, but I will definitely let you know, Mark, when that goes live.
I would love to see it, so I'll look forward to when it all premieres, Melanie. And I just want to touch on, before we close the show today, you've had a successful career as a radio broadcaster and you've really interviewed some incredible people as well, haven't you, Melanie?
Yeah, I have. I've been really, really lucky. I had an award-winning sports show on my local radio station, and I've interviewed some absolutely great characters. I think the best character that I interviewed, and I have to admit I was scared stiff when I interviewed her because, she's just like, my God. I interviewed Gabby Logan. And when you're on a sports show interviewing like the queen of sports commentary, Gabby Logan, I was like, oh my goodness. But she was so lovely. But I think she was one of my favourite interviews because she was just such a lovely, lovely lady and a complete heroine of mine.
And it's lovely when you meet people and they are what you expect and they are nice. That's always a great thing as well.
Yeah. Really lovely lady, very down to earth,
Melanie, I have thoroughly enjoyed having a conversation with you today. What is the best way for our audience to connect with you, to follow you?
I will give you all that. I'm just going to say, if you want to watch the trailer for Scooch, you can do if you go on to the Scooch's Facebook page. If you go onto Facebook at Scooch Film, you'll get onto our Scooch Facebook page and you can watch the trailer on there. So that will give you a little snippet of what the film's about.
Just but if spell anybody, that out for us, actually.
Okay. It's at Scooch, SCOOTCH, Scooch Film. FILM, or one word, Scooch Film. So that's Perfect. That's on Facebook if anyone wants to catch the trailer, and that's the place to go for also news about the film. So when it goes on the live stream and stuff like that, all that will be posted up on that page as well. So that's one to look out for. If anybody would like to get in touch with me for either strategy sessions or filming for whatever you would like, then you can get hold of me by email, melanie@poppyperrymedia.com. Or you can find me on LinkedIn. If you go to LinkedIn and look up Poppy Perry Media, you'll find me there. Or again on Facebook at Poppy Perry Media.
And I will make sure all the links are in the article section of the interview, so it's really easy for our audience to connect with you, Melanie. Melanie, thank you so much for coming on to the Brilliance Business Show. It's so nice catching up with a dear friend. We've knew each other for many years now. Thank you for being my guest today.
Oh, it's been a pleasure, Mark, and I'm always so happy to talk to you.
The pleasure is all mine. You have been listening to the Brilliance Business Show, conversations with leading experts in...
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.